do we interact with the world? We use our 5 senses: seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. But how do they all work? And what do they have in common? So, what are your 5 senses?
Seeing, hearing, smelling, taste, and touch.
We all use our 5 senses to understand what's happening around us. For some, that means not becoming somebody else's dinner. So let's learn about our 5 senses.
We see with our eyes.
Your eyeball is about the size of a ping pong ball. It's covered by the sclera, a tough outer layer. That's the white part of your eye. When you look at something, light travels through the cornea, the front part of your eye. It goes through the pupil, that's the round black hole in the center. A muscle called the iris, or the colored part of your eye, opens and closes the pupil to regulate the amount of light coming in. Light travels through the lens, which focuses the image on the back of your eye, or the retina. Nerve cells on the retina send the image to the optic nerve and then to your brain.
We hear with our ears.
A sound creates energy. Those sound waves enter your ears and travel down the ear canal to the eardrum. This thin piece of skin is stretched very tight, and when the sound waves hit it, it begins to vibrate. That makes 3 tiny bones known as the hammer, anvil, and stirrup move too. This moves or transmits those sound waves into a snail-shaped structure called the cochlea. The cochlea is filled with fluid and 17,000 tiny hair-like tissues. Sound waves move through the fluid and bend the hair. Somehow the movement of the hair stimulates the fibers leading to the acoustic nerve, and that nerve takes the sound to the brain.
The sense of smell is probably our oldest sense.
Tiny particles too small to be seen with your eyes float into your nose when you breathe. They drift to the top end of your nasal cavity. Inside your nose are 2 small areas called the olfactory epithelium. These are about the size of your thumbnail, but they contain about 20 million olfactory cells with tiny hairs or cilias. Those scent particles stick to the cilias and trigger nerve cells. Those nerve cells send a message to the brain, which identifies the scent.
Your sense of taste begins with your tongue.
Your tongue is covered with thousands of tiny bumps called papilla. Inside those bumps, on the back part of the roof of your mouth, and in the very back of your throat, are 10,000 taste buds. The tiny cells have little hairs. Dissolved food particles seep into the hairs, and the taste buds sense whether the food is sweet, sour, bitter, or salt. That information is sent to your brain, and then you decide if the food is good or bad.
Did you know most of your sense of taste comes from your sense of smell? So let's share. Hey! Your sense of touch is really a bunch of senses that work together, and you start with your skin.
Your skin is the largest organ in the body. The layers of skin have at least 7 different kinds of sensors, and there are as many as 1 million of these microscopic touch sensors in a square inch of skin. Some of these nerves respond to light pressure. Others respond to heavy pressure. Some are activated by heat or cold or even vibrations. So when you touch something, all that information activates the nerves, and that information goes to your brain. Your brain is really the most important part of your 5 senses. The brain collects information from all these different sources, and that's how we make sense of the world. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah! If you want to learn more, head to the Science Trek website. You'll find facts, links, games, material for educators and parents, and much more. You'll find it all at sciencetrek.org.